buzz these days. It's so common. You go to a hospital complaining of something associated with breathing or things like that. They will do a chest scan and they will realize, oh, you have got some blocked heart. Let's right away put a stent in your heart. Nothing but a small tube to kind of just inflate it and so that the blood flow can happen. These days, doctors actually just do it as if you're popping in a paracetamol pill.
Right.
So, and they'll put in so much urgency and put so much stress on the patients. And because it's just a quick one, it just takes a couple of hours, at time, just one night stay, and you're out. And considering it's hard, people are made to kind of take very rash and quick decisions. They don't even get a chance to do a second view. They'll say, okay, yeah, do it right away. The moment you do it, 90% of the insurances are out.
Wow.
Option. The only one which are available are those specialist cardiac related plans.
Right.
Costly, full of what they do's and don'ts they won't cover. This was just one example. And it is, let's say doctors will say, now it's a normal one. It's not complicated. The cardiologist will say something like that. But insurance company for life would consider it as a risk.
Right.
Because now it requires an ongoing maintenance of your heart.
What is it called? What is it called? You say in the artery, what do they put? Stent?
So it's called a stent, STENT. It is, I think it's like a small metallic tube. So you can consider it as an analogy that, say you have a garden hose pipe and it is bent. Now you want to kind of make it function well. You actually just put something to support that free flow of water. That's all what they do. A very kind of common surgery these days. You don't even cut your heart. I mean, it goes through a normal vein. But insurance company for life will make these things. So another example is...
Wait. Before we go to your example, someone here, Rajwanti, has said that she's not getting health insurance because she has BCA. What is that and what can she do?
Well, you need to appreciate, Sharan, I'm a chartered accountant, not a doctor. So that at times I also go into the Google to understand what those illnesses are. BCA, otherwise put for a common man, mean bachelors of computers.
Right, I know. Sorry.
Right. So I'll just kind of put a little bit of framework here. Any critical organ, if it gets tinkered or gets subject to a material illness, most of the normal plans are out. Be it, breast cancer. So cancer survivors, most of these are the first set of questions. You click yes, policies not available.
Wow.
There are a few options out there. The specialist insurers, not specialist insurers, but specialist insurance plans are there for cancer survivors from Star. Care Insurance also have them. Then there are certain, there's one particular product from Care Insurance, it's called Care Freedom. Usko in the industry, I'll use a word, kaha jata hai, besaharon ka sahara. If you will get no other insurance, they will be happy to give you insurance, but it's very, very restricted. Right. I mean, it is just for name's sake. Very small amount, no frills in that particular option.
Right.
So the point which I'm trying to say is, why to even wait for that? If you can insure your car, you can insure yourself. How much you're talking about? 1,000, 2,000 rupees per month?
Right.
Do one SIP less and invest it in your health.
100%. And I think that brings home to the point that, always have a separate health insurance apart from your company insurance, because you will stop working at the age of 60 and then that company insurance will also stop. And it was maybe not a great insurance product. Maybe you can port it later, but it would not have been a very high cover. Let's say at the age of 60, you're stuck with a 5 lakh cover, which is what your company had bought for you. And that remains until when you retire at 60. But when you're 60, a simple operation could be like 20-25 lakhs. So that 5 lakh cover that you have is useless. Right? And then you will be forced to buy a new health insurance at that point of time. And we all just talked about what kind of complications can happen, because if you have one of these small things which you just talked about, like a simple stent in your artery, 90% of the insurance products are out and everything else will be super expensive. So have one separate health insurance, like you said, right from the 3 months after you're born. That's up to your parents. But if you don't have a separate health insurance, then get it as soon as possible. If you don't have it, do it right after this call and do your research. And we've already talked about it in depth in module 4, so you can watch that and do your research. Now, coming to another interesting question which somebody asked. When buying term insurance, let's say I'm a non-smoker, but then 2 years later, I start smoking. So do I need to call up the insurance company and say, hey, boss, I've started smoking now? How does that work?
Sharan, I'll just add one more flip to that one, so that we know we cover the entire gamut. Many of the people would say, I'm smoking right now. Yeah, I'm not going to die for next 1 or 2 years. I'm not going to disclose it right now because the premiums will bump up by 30% or 20%. at the time of death,